The beauty of learning lies in humility. No matter how much we know, there's always something new waiting to inspire us. This quote encourages students to embrace life more boldly and maintain a sense of curiosity and humility. It reminds them that learning never ends. Growth comes from curiosity, and no one ever knows it all. In essence, it motivates students to approach every experience with classroom lessons, discussions, or real-life challenges with an open mind and a genuine eagerness to learn something new. I am Mansi, senior student manager at Biology Institute of Management in Human Resource Thakkar. We work at relaxed touching with
And I was already senior student manager at Biology Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, where I had the privilege of interviewing students. We are delighted to be your host for this inspiring masterclass.
It gives us great pleasure to extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guests, dignitaries, and our fellow student managers. Your presence here today has immense value and enthusiasm to this special occasion.
Before we continue, we would like to take a moment to highlight a few opportunities for sharing university here at FUB. We are not the students, we are student managers who have a rigorous investigative training for apprenticeship, intensive academic modules, and real-time industry exposure. Our institution has maintained an impressive excellence in grades, supported by updated curriculum, advanced IT infrastructure, and strong training capability.
We are pleased to share the Mansi Food Survey 2025 rankings, where FBC currently stands among private universities in India. Extending in Maharashtra and Western India, 10 among the top 100 bee schools in the country, and the proportion of these meant we are ranked top 12 in India and second amongst private bee schools. These achievements reflect FBC's commitment to academic excellence, industry relevance, and the holistic development of its student managers.
The academic legal team at Srinagar University of Pune is proud to launch a cumulative masterclass series designed to enrich learning beyond the traditional classroom. We are truly honored to welcome our leader in legal, Ms. Mansi, Director, numerous private legal, leadership coach, keynote speaker, and co-host of Channel Unscripted.
As a gesture of our appreciation and respect, I now invite Dr. Rupali Kulekar to kindly come forward and present the bouquet to our distinguished guest.
With that, I believe everyone in the audience is eager to hear from our distinguished speaker.
Absolutely not. Without any further delay, I now invite senior student manager, who is Thakkar to formally introduce our esteemed guest. Thank you, Commissioner Sir. The India now tells us that knowledge is the superior beauty of man. It is a hidden well-protected love. Good morning, learning on presently. I represent senior student manager at DRM Punjabi. It is a new privilege to welcome you all to this special masterclass. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest, Ms. Mansi, Director of Business Practice. Ma'am is a leadership coach and keynote speaker focusing on youth, women, and entrepreneurs to build leadership skills, personal growth, and professional Dr. Ramakrishnan Project and an independent human life. Ma'am is graduated in Bachelor of Engineering in IT from the Delhi College of Engineering, New Delhi, Leadership, University of London. Postgraduate degree in Leadership Science from Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies under the mentorship of Dr. Ramakrishnan Project. Ma'am has done certification in public speaking and trainer courses during her college. Ma'am has trained more than 3 lakh youth and women across India over 9 years and recognized with several awards including Grand Prix Global Leadership Award 2022 from Education and Training. 30 other 30 outstanding entrepreneurs award in the leadership training practice. We are truly honored to have you with us today and excited to learn from your experiences. Your journey continues to inspire leaders across the world. Please put your hands together for the dynamic and visionary Miss Mansi Thakkar. Thank you so much. We'll have the laptop here or we'll open the PPT.
Do you want to call in mine? This will be.
Change the slide? Okay, fine. You can come to the first slide. You know, when I entered the... First of all, very good morning. You know, it feels so nice to see so many women out here. In fact, I was just telling ma'am, you know, in the... yeah, that is also okay.
Just check.
Hello. I think this, depending on, I don't know if we can go to PPT.
Very well good. Unique.
Yeah.
Great disturbance. Take this better. Thank you. Is it okay?
Sorry for this. So, you know, I was just telling ma'am in the cabin there that, you know, it is so much of scarcity to see, you know, all male around. I'm sorry, I'm not offending any males out here, but I want more women leaders in the boardroom and everywhere. So just before I start this, you know, you've heard all the achievements, that 30 under 30 and 40 under 40 and all awards. But, you know, I failed 2 years in engineering. And I want to begin this journey by saying this because your corporate journey, it looks easy. It's not. And today, whatever learnings I'm going to share with you are my personal experiences. And I don't want you people to go and suffer outside when you are graduating from here and you wonder, I've studied something else in the theory and practical world is very different. And I don't know how many of you agree with this, but when you are coming in the corporate, there's a lot of biased behavior. And women get underestimated. But today, whatever I'm going to teach you, you will be unstoppable. That's my promise to you on record. Be it anywhere in your career. I'm going to give you some case studies. I'm going to give you some resources. And mark my words, you will stand out extraordinary. I don't believe in theory knowledge. I always believe that if you have something practical to share, that's what is going to help all the students. And I don't believe in sharing, 50 slides. In fact, I'm not a PPT person. But there are certain things, if I don't share on PPT, the session might be incomplete. And I don't want to leave you with some incomplete thoughts. Okay? The very first thing, the best part, initially when we were graduating, everything was on marks. How many of you think that if you are a topper, you will get easily placed? Raise your hands up. Thank God. Thank God this mindset is getting changed. Now if you don't have the right mindset and if you only focus on marks, nothing is going to happen. And here, before I go ahead, there is one thing that I've learned. People judge you by your appearance. But the day people start judging you by this, you won.
You win over there, you won your battles. And the moment you enter your cabin, while you're talking, while you're giving your interviews, there are a lot of things taken into consideration. By the way, today, in the end, if you all are very obedient, which you are, I'm going to teach you how do you read eye movements. You want to learn that? You want to catch people telling lies? All these things are more important. HR insights. Do you know why am I teaching you this? When you will go in the corporates, your body language and your eye movements will be catered. And they will be catching you if you lie. So I'm going to share that so that you don't lie. And if you do, lie confidently. A lot of times people mug up and go and they bluff so much, overconfident. And then they say, oh God, we got rejected. You know, they know your body language. Your one eye movement here and there, it's easy to catch you that you're lying. So I'm going to teach you that today in the end as a reward. Okay? Climax has to be nice, no? Otherwise the session becomes very boring. Right? Alright. Yeah. So don't go much on PPT, just focus on what I'm trying to tell you. Most important, please, from now onwards, please understand the more practical knowledge you have, the better chance you have to get placed in any organization. And the best part, from the last 2-3 years, people are focusing more on startups. So my first sincere learning to you, do not underestimate a startup. I have seen students going in the placement, clearing all the rounds, but underestimating the company, and then when that company becomes a unicorn, you have a regret, oh my God, I wish I could have, not underestimated. No company is big or small. It's your mindset, it's your capability. And if you become an asset for the company, trust me, the company will not let you go. And I'm saying this from my experience. Every year I have my learning budgets. And I tell this to all the HR students and even the HR professionals, you are investing in the company, right, for the trainings. But if you yourself, if you are not relevant, you will be replaced. So there are certain skills you need to learn. Now, one of my favorite. I saw this video 12 years ago and it is still there on YouTube. It is called 3 Important Questions by Vishen Lakhiani. And when I saw this video, I was wondering that, okay, why is somebody claiming to be the best goal setter? And then I realized that this is something he's doing to hire 200 employees in the company. Can you believe that? What if I tell you, I am not going to hire you based on your resume, but I'm going to hire you based on this chart? Isn't that amazing? You prepare a resume, you're preparing your LinkedIn, but what is happening? A company is coming in telling you, we are not hiring based on this. You have to sit with us for say around 9 minutes. We are giving you this chart, fill up that chart and you will be hired. 9 minutes of your life, no interview questions, nothing, only psychology. It says experience, growth and contribution. So they have this question saying, if you had unlimited time and money, what would you do? Now with this, they are judging you, how much can you think? Because everybody in the interview says, oh, we think big, in the next 5 years we are going to be CEOs and directors, right? But in your real capacity, how valid is that? So first column is experience, second growth, not by drinking any cold drink or something, but by your personal growth. And last but not the least, how much of a giver are you? That is contribution. How will you give back to the society? 12 years ago, with this chart, the company had hired 200 employees from the globe and with the best minds. Unfortunately, resumes are not valid today, and I'm saying this on record. You are not your resume. You are your talent, you are your skill set, you are your mindset, and you are your attitude. If you are not developing your skills, if you are not relevant, recruitment is again zero for you. And today, whatever we are going to learn is going to make you relevant. I will not spend my time doing this activity because I want you to do it as a homework. But there's one thing I can assure you, the moment you make this chart, send me on DM, I will personally go through and I'll get it done for you. That this is not how it is supposed to be made. And when you do this, I'm not saying you'll get job in that company, but you will be having clarity. As an HR student, as an HR professional, if you yourself don't have clarity, my dear friends, you will be stuck badly. Because you have to manage people, you have to manage minds, you have to manage 10 different emotions. And if you don't have that clarity, people will fool you. And the worst part, people think that women are more emotional, so they can make you an emotional fool. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. Women have emotions, and that is the reason they have more sensitivity. Does that mean we are fools? No, right? But today we will be learning certain things, right? So you can just make a note of it. It's on YouTube. It's a 12-year-old video. 3 important questions by Vishen Lakhiani. Just go through this exercise and you will see that there are companies across the globe who still do not hire on resume but on such charts. And I teach this to all the startups that please don't go on their appearance, don't go on their branded clothes and their branded phone. They should have branded thoughts. They should have better mindsets. And when you work with such people, you will go non-stop. Have you seen so many startups fail in 2-3 years? A lot of HR students complain, ma'am, I got a job, but they are giving me telecalling job. Ma'am, they are giving me something which is not relevant to my profile. Does that happen? You hear from a lot of your seniors. But when you are clear, this is where I want to go, this is where I am going to be leading ahead, you will be unstoppable. Let's go ahead. Okay? Now, a lot of times people have this question, ma'am, we've gone for interview, we've got rejected, and I think my life is over. Please understand, rejection is the new direction. Maybe if that role is not for you, that is completely okay. You're not supposed to give up there. In fact, my granny, so I'm very lucky that, I have my 77-year-old granny with me today here, and she is my strength. Do you know something? If I have got board position, is because of her, and I'm saying this on record. She's given me wings. She's made ensured that, if you want to reach somewhere, you have to be capable, Mansi. Things will not be on platter. And I used to always wonder, okay, I'll be happy if I be a manager. I'll be happy if I be a professional. And she's like, is that what you think? So low? And I'm like, huh? How is this low? No. What is the top level in the company? Board of director. You have to be that. And that's when I realized your environment shapes you. What do I do next? I went and I did all my board of director courses and I landed up at a company. So my dear friends, this is what I want to tell you. If you have decided something, learn from the best. Don't think that time that, okay, what if I don't land up in a job? I was not sure when I did my director courses. But I was very clear, I will not compromise on my ethics and I will be relevant. Be it board positions or be it HR or be it HR internship, you have to be relevant, my dear friends. If you're not relevant, hiring is just another random process. So when you are into rejection, it is okay. Maybe that role is not for you. But can you seek clarity? Can you ask the organization that, what more can I do better? When we get rejected, we have this fear of asking people. We are embarrassed. No, ask for feedback. So that when next time when you get hired for some other organization, you know what mistake you are not making. Is that clear? Okay, first case study. Now let's do some activity, okay? You read the case study for a minute and I want you people to answer, if you were in this place, what would you do? Before I give you the solution. And I have taken 3 case studies which 95% of HR students face in the real life world. And I don't want you people to face any kind of obstacle. So I have ensured these case studies are here and I can give you a solution which you can apply and you will not be stoppable. Right? Let's read. You want me to read or you want to read on your own? Shall I read? Okay. On my first day at the company, I hoped for introductions, guidance or even a simple welcome. Instead, I was given pile of tasks with a quick just get started because everyone is too busy. I found myself struggling to understand the context, unsure who to ask for help and feeling isolated despite being surrounded by colleagues. This happens on your first day, imagine. You're very excited. It's the first job of your life. Your family is excited. You are there to prove yourself. You're happy. You have mixed emotions. And your entire excitement is now zero. Why? Because there's nobody to help you out there. What do you do? What would you do? I want to hear some of you. What would you do? If this was you on the first day, I would have got scared if it were my first job. I would have been like, let me go home. Where's my Ola Uber? Let me go back. Right? Or I don't know, I would have been afraid to ask, what if I'm an introvert? You know, sometimes when you're an introvert, you are afraid to ask people. So what would you do? Before I jump to the solution, I have solution for all the answers, for all your case studies, but I want you to think, because this can be you in the future, right? What would you do? Let me know. Any one of you. See, there is no right and wrong. We are here to learn. We are not here to be judging each other. Just give me one or two answers.
Mansi.
Yes, please.
My colleague what should I do?
Very good. Yes, you will ask your colleague, okay?
I would not want unwanted attention. I would rather complete my task and make others understand that what I have worked on, so that I would grab their attention.
Very nice perspective. Wow, that's nice. Yes, and? Yes? What would you do? Or if you're seeing somebody in this situation as an HR, you have to intervene. So think from that perspective as well. If you are not in that position, but if you are seeing somebody, a new hire, facing this challenge, it's your duty to come and help. Let's see how. Take ownership on your onboarding by requesting a mentor or buddy, what you said, and openly communicating your need for guidance, what you said. Your two students have already spoken the solution. And I'm sure not just these two, everybody knows what to do. But we are afraid. What if my answer is wrong? What if I'll be judged? What if people or my friends will laugh at me that, oh, she gave wrong answer to Mansi ma'am? No, we are here to learn. And when you do that, now, the best part, you know what I've done? Today I'm going to teach you human psychology. I'm going to teach you eye moments. I'm going to teach you even Chanakya Niti. Chanakya Niti is not only for men, it's for women as well. So if you want to be a king or a queen, you should know what the other person doesn't know. And even in Arthashastra, Acharya Chanakya says, you have to understand who you are working with and you have to actively seek guidance. You cannot have your ego saying, oh, I am a minister, why do I need guidance? No. You have to lower your ego and you have to learn to ask. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. You hear these motivational talks, right? Learn to ask. But how? And the more you discuss, the better it is. So what you both said, oh, by the way, if you don't clap for me, that's okay. Clap for them at least. Please, slightly. To make quarterly results look better. Reporting it meant losing a star performer. Ignoring it meant compromising integrity. Now what would you do? What would you do? Think. Somebody at a senior position is trying to manipulate. Have you heard people saying, oh, my organization has lot of office politics. This is one of them. What will you do? You have all the evidence. You have a chance to voice out. What will you do? Are you okay to report or are you okay to compromise on your ethics? Report? Agreed? Okay, let's see. Yes, report. It doesn't matter what kind of the person is, but if you are not ethical, if you are not living to your standards, you will lose out. And you know, my dear friends, today, even if you don't report, the organization knows. So do not think that if I am quiet as an HR professional, nobody will come to know. Everybody knows. And you are watched. What are your actions? Are you taking a stand? Are you voicing out for what is happening, right or wrong? Or are you supporting? And if you are silent, that means you are supporting. Then you cannot say, oh, I lost my job. I was not at fault. Did you voice out? Why were you quiet? When you knew from day one, you were afraid to lose your job. You are anyway going to lose it if you are not voicing out. And you think top management does not know? They know everything. They have secret spies who inform them every small thing. Even though, you know, a lot of times people tell me, oh Mansi, I have seen directors only come for board meetings, but they are timely updated. They know what is happening. So when appraisals come, that is when they know. When performance review is happening, they know. When promotions are happening, then you cannot say, oh, I did not get promoted. Where were you when these things were happening? Of course, now, you have a lot of security, CCTV cameras and a lot of other things. But small things such as these, if here you are compromising on your integrity, all your truths will be questioned. And in future, you will lose your credibility in the corporate world. My dear friends, this world is very small. You might think, oh, if I leave this organization or if they remove me, nobody will come to know. I'm sorry. Everybody is connected to everybody somewhere or the other. The world is very, very small. And once if you voice out, nobody will dare to again compromise on the integrity. Because you're not working for yourself, even though the company is paying you salary, but you have your loyalty, and that always gives lot of rewards. So even if you find slight wrong thing happening, voice it out. Drop a mail. Don't go on WhatsApp and Instagram. Drop a mail. Go formally so that you have documented proof that, oh, you did voice it out. And sometimes people will threaten you. Your colleagues will not support you. And I'm saying this on record. So you will have odds against you. But if you are very clear, no, I will not compromise and I am true to the values of my own life, my own character and the character of the organization, nobody can stop you. Is that clear? Let's take one last case study. I joined as an HR intern but found myself doing data entry. I wanted exposure but didn't express it. In fact, when I was coming today, I read one more LinkedIn post where an HR intern was complaining that, I wonder why did I even study HR, because today I'm doing telecalling in my organization. And that became a viral post. Just while I was coming, because when I'm traveling, I want to read what's happening. So there are two things I prefer, LinkedIn and Twitter, to understand what is happening in the real world. And coincidentally, I've written data entry, she wrote telecalling. That means it's happening. You are promised something else, you are given something else, and that will lower your morale because you've studied something else. And you cannot do a monotonous job. HR means it's variety, right? So what do you do if this happens with you in future? What would you do? Think. Can you quit your job? There's uncertainty. You've just landed a job. Can you say no to your boss? They'll not pay you salary. They'll fire you. Or you might think, oh, I've ruined my profile because I've said no. What would you do in this case? Think. Here I want answers. Because this is the current market scenario. You are promised a role and given something else as your job description. Unfortunately. Yes. But why even sometime you will perform? Why? What will make you do that? Okay. I love this attitude. She deserves a big round of applause. Great. I agree. So she gave you two solutions. Continue for a while, but seek clarity. Now what will happen is, when you will continue for a while, you're still not in the bad books of your organization, right? But you know very well this is not your job description, correct? And second of all, when you will seek clarity, you will know what is to be done, right? And you said something very nice, What she said was, I might get to learn something new. Your management expects you to have LQ, learning quotient, learning ability. And maybe they are even testing you. You never know. But unfortunately, in today's era, people are not testing you. They are just delegating work to you because they lack resources in the organization. Right? So don't accept. Let's see the solution for this. Politely request role clarity and learning opportunity. Your growth is your responsibility. What you said is absolutely correct. If you are not clear of what you want, nobody can help you. I have studied IT engineering. I failed 2 years. I was not clear if I'm going to be an IT engineer or not. Disclaimer, I finished IT engineering. But when I had 2 years of my drop, now what do? I cannot attend college. 7 times I had KTs, right? I have to clear that. And I was a motivational speaker at that point of time. So now imagine you're a motivational speaker. Let's be very honest. A struggling motivational speaker. You're failing 2 years in engineering. People are judging you. People are giving you a false hope saying that today you work for free, tomorrow we'll pay you. And a lot of times people insult you on your face. First go and pass yourself and then come and give us motivation. First motivate yourself to clear engineering. And imagine when you're passionate about speaking and you get this kind of rejection, how would you feel? And that's when I decided that, next 2 years, if I'm not going to college, I will ensure I will upgrade myself. I will learn whatever courses that are possible, and all thanks to my family. And I will prove it to them that a setback can bring the strongest comeback. But it's from here. And I finished my engineering. I did my master's degree. And today I'm here in front of you. So, when people tell about your introduction and your journey, that this is what we've achieved, I tell them, okay, this is all nice, but I want to tell you my real journey. It is not as easy as it is, like it shows. No, it's not. Right? Okay, let's go ahead. Now, I told you I'm going to teach you some kind of Arthashastra Sutras. Please take it as a Brahmastra. This sutra, anything you do in your life, anything, discuss before you decide. Why did I do the case studies with you? Though I'm not a PPT person, I'm wondering how am I doing this, but it's out of my comfort zone today as well. But because I wanted to tell you that if you face this is the problem, solution that you will be handling, right? This one thing I learned in 2019, and from there, even if I am experienced, I still discuss with my family, with my experts, with my mentors, because sometimes we tend to overlook certain things. And that becomes the blind spot. But when you discuss with experts, you will be on the right track. So don't have that thing in your head that, okay, no, I know everything. I know nothing. And that's the best. Because I'll see in the company, when people don't have right mentors, they'll get into disaster, some legal problem, and then experts will come into picture, right? Pehle se experts ko leke aao na picture mein. That's much better, no? You will not lose your reputation. In the professional world, people are there to throw mud at your name. One small mistake and they'll say so much happening on your name and they'll ruin your reputation because you're going ahead in your life. And specifically if you're a woman. Unfortunately, people have that problem. So, but when you discuss with experts, when you don't tell who's your mentor, that's the game changer. You know what's the game changer? Not discuss before you decide. Having a secret mentor in your life. So you should have 2 mentors in your life. Public mentor and secret mentor. Public mentor, your competition also knows. They are going to take from the same advice from the same person. But when you have a secret mentor in your life, only you know. And a coin has 2 sides, right? So when both the mentors tell the same thing, you're on the right track. I have multiple secret mentors. Why? Is because I'm not an expert in everything. But when you have experts around you, you will be the best. Why do you think we have think tanks in the government? Why do you think all the big entrepreneurs have secret advisors? You will never see them flaunting, oh, we are advising this person. And that's why I always say, don't see the successful person, see the brain behind that person. Who is the game changer? The person who is advising that person, not the person. He has built his personal branding. That is why he is a number 1 person. That's why we say Raja se bada Rajguru hota hai. Who's your kingmaker? Who's your mentor? And that decides your level of success, the way you will be grooming yourself, and the kind of level you're going to upskill in your life. Okay? So from now, be it the smallest thing. If you have right experts with you, please go and ask. Don't have that thing, oh, what if they find me stupid or silly, such a silly question. There is no silly question. Nothing is of silly in this world. At least you will be saved from embarrassment, right? What employers expect from HR graduates? See, now all these inputs, to be very honest to you, are given to me by real life HRs. Since I'm on board of multiple companies, I always tell them, please give me your inputs. What do you want from today's generation? So before I was preparing for this session, because like I told you, I'm not a PPT person. So I gathered 3-4 HRs, I gave them these questions and I said, tell me what you want so that tomorrow when you are recruiting this generation, they have clarity of your expectations. It shouldn't be a mismatch, no? Because you're learning so much, you're spending so much of money in the college, right? And if you end up with no job, it's very disheartening. So all the HRs collectively gave me these answers. Because what happens is, you cannot write 50 things. We are humans. We cannot fulfill all expectations, right? Don't worry, I'll give you the PPT. I've given it to ma'am. The entire PPT will be given to you. I have nothing to hide. But I only want to give you what is practically applicable and what is given to me by the real life HRs. So that tomorrow you are not incomplete when you're going in your preparation. Very first, clarity, curiosity, communication, credibility. If all 4 are tick mark, you're good to go. Clarity has to be there. Second, judgment under pressure. They don't want theory answers. When you go for interview rounds, not the definition of right and wrong or from which book that you have studied. No. They want to see what is your sense saying, what your presence of mind is applying that time. Importance of HR. A lot of times people don't know about their own subject. And I was like, are you sure they've studied HR? How can you say this? Then, the HR tells me, Mansi ma'am, you have no idea. When we sit for interview questions, they tell us, ma'am, the assignment was given copy-paste in the college. One student does assignment, everybody takes the Xerox and we all do the same assignment. I said, this is what we used to do in engineering. I never knew it's everywhere. It's universal concept. And of course, now you have ChatGPT. So it's very easy to understand from where you have picked up. Learning enthusiasm. HR wants the whole organization to be trained, but do not want to get trained themselves. That's wrong, no? So that's the first criteria. Willingness to get into practical work, no theory. Then I wonder, why do colleges have so much of big syllabus? So I'm on board of KES Shroff College as a Board of Studies member. So what they do is, so my work as a Board of Studies member is to cut down your syllabus. And I love doing that. I'll tell you why. Because in engineering, even I was fed up learning so many answers which is of no relevance right now. So when I sit on board meetings, I tell them, let's give them only what is practical and relevant. If you give them so much of portion, anywhere you will rush in the end of semester and students have to mug up so much. And you know what happens with us? The moment we enter exam hall, Gajni, right? You can see the paper, you can see your book, but you can't see inside the book. That happens. I just studied half an hour ago and my friend told me this exam is coming, this question is important, this case study is important. Somebody singing of vacation, oh, I'll go there. Somebody singing of momos and ice cream after my exam. Somebody singing, yesterday's paper was bad. So now if first paper goes bad, every paper goes bad. Right? We used to have all that during our times. So when you come out from the exam hall and your family is asking you, paper kaisa tha? Bad. Oh, that means all your papers will go bad. What is the logic? And when you enter the exam hall and when you have to mug up so much and even one line here and there and you're worried. And first what we will do when the exam paper comes, first you will see if you're passing or not. Right? Then comes some questions where we become our own authors. Right? And if that point of time somebody takes a supplement, everybody's expression change. And then specifically if the person is your friend. Right? You and you have your expressions, right? You told me you did not study, right? And that plays in your head. Because one day ago, when you called that friend asking, did you study? No. Okay, we are all in the same boat. And that friend gets good marks. And your parents will tell you learn from your friend. See. Right? And then what the friend will say, oh, teacher has been kind, generous, I got marks. You also know they were studying at home. And you are having that false hope saying that, okay, I'm not studying because my friend also did not study. And the same happens in corporate, my dear friends. How was your interview? How did you get the job? Oh, third round was nice and probably my academics was good. You've performed well, my dear friend. It's not good luck. It's your hard work. And when you get opportunities and when people don't get opportunities, that's when the comparison starts. It's a rat race even there. And people are willing to replace you. Do you know that? So if you're not relevant, you will be replaced easily, very easily. And of course, people management skills. Oh, for this, I'm going to teach you certain things today. As an HR, if it's difficult to handle people, different emotions, different complaints, different way of dealing with their own emotions. Sometimes a person is stressed because of personal life, it reflects their professional life, and vice versa. Sometimes a person becomes very depressed. People don't take mental health properly. It's a serious case. People don't know to deal with introverts and extroverts. You expect everybody to behave the same way. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen that way. We have to respect the other person's emotions. We don't know what the person is going through. A simple example. This might look or might sound funny, but sometimes, like example, I've seen a lot of times people are undergoing a breakup and they're not able to focus in their professional life. They need time. They don't need your sympathy. They need their space. It can be male, it can be female. A lot of times people have lost their loved ones. You can't expect them to be very productive the next day. Come on, they've lost somebody in their life. Somebody has just gone into massive debt and they are not able to join you for some party. You cannot sit and judge them over there. You have money, they don't at that point of time. It's very easy to judge people. Very difficult to understand what they are going through. And as an HR, you are expected to understand people and then manage people. Let's see. Now before I go this, so far okay? Going good? Yeah? I'm sorry, I'm not a PPT person. I get hanged when I'm using PPT. But I want to cover up all the points with all of you. Relatable?
Yes.
Will you be able to solve problems when you go in the real life world? Coming to AI. You know, when the other HR gave me this slide yesterday, I just asked her one thing. That, her name is Nikita. That, Nikita ji, you are a non-technical person. Why are you including AI in this? Then she gave me a very nice answer. Mansi, you are studying ancient intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the future. And if as an HR, if I have to hire somebody in the technical grounds, if I am not upgraded as an HR, how will I know if that's right or wrong? And if there are certain operations that can be automated using AI, and if I am not upgraded as an HR, I will have long task, incomplete task. And I was like, wow, that's a very nice insight. And that's when I included HR and AI. Because there's a very nice saying, that AI will not replace you, but a person who knows AI will definitely replace you. I'm not saying you should know all the HR and AI concepts. No. Basics. Example, ChatGPT. Learn prompting. If possible, learn some AI tools. Today, even in the payroll, even in the management, even in performance management, even in talent management or talent acquisition, there are so many apps coming up. So many softwares that are available. Use that. And if not, at least have awareness. Is that possible? Yes. If I'm not using, okay. Awareness. What did I teach you in that slide previously? What the employers are expecting from you to have awareness. Application is a choice. Awareness is not a choice. It's a compulsion for you. Because if you are not aware, you are not relevant. And corporate world is very competitive. You have to be relevant and you have to spend time in your own development as well. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to only train my team members and the company will grow. Sorry, it starts from you. Okay? So for HR, see, anybody can learn, and in the future, it's going to replace jobs. It's already replacing so many jobs, my dear friends. Do you want to be jobless? Do you want to have an uncertainty in your own professional career? Then why don't you invest in learning? Today you have so many podcasts on AI. You have so many free softwares on AI. I have seen so many new content creators on Instagram teaching you softwares and tools in 30 seconds. Oh my God. See how fast the world is going. You don't have to sit for 2 hour sessions. No. Just have that awareness. Oh, this is the tool, and just learn the tool. That's it. How difficult is that? You all are using Instagram. You all are using LinkedIn. But in a mindful way, we're going to learn that today. Okay? See, when we learn leadership, the first thing that they teach us is what not to do. What to do, everybody will tell you. What not to do. Please, again, I have seen a lot of people taking photographs. My dear friends, I have given the PPT to ma'am. It will be with you. I am taking nothing from you. It's all yours. And like I said, these are all real inputs from real HRs. Because every HR professional has different level of expertise. And in decades, they have seen generations. They've worked with multiple generations. So they know what is there. So if these mistakes, if you avoid, your career is sorted, at least for the first 2-3 years. Let's see the mistakes one by one. Overusing HR jargon. Don't go to impress your interviewers. Don't go. Recruiters are not there to see how well you are dressed. Of course, you're supposed to be dressed nicely. And you cannot have, a copy-pasted resume. It's what you are and what you can do for the organization. And your skills, your mindset, your presence. The more simple your resume, the better it is. And a lot of times I've seen when people go for interviews and when they ask, what is the meaning of what you've written in your resume? Oh, I don't know. Then who wrote your resume? Google. Copy paste. My friend. Don't do that. Weak LinkedIn presence. I'm sure you had sessions on LinkedIn. Did you upgrade your profile? Did you put a nice picture? Did you put a nice, details of your achievements? Are you actively posting on LinkedIn? Are you showcasing your talent on LinkedIn? Are you, putting the featured section very well updated? That when a recruiter comes to your profile, resume, okay, they'll go and check on LinkedIn first. Today, even for weddings, people don't see bio, they go and see your social media. You're coming for a company, everything is open. Maybe your Instagram is private, LinkedIn can't be private. Of course, if you choose to keep it private, but when you're looking for a job, your LinkedIn is open. And if your LinkedIn is incomplete, it shows you are not bothered. You must be bothered. I'm not blaming you for that. There are certain things which are marked, like your profile photo. No selfies in LinkedIn profile photo, please. No putting up your sad songs and your sad stories. No personal life on LinkedIn, only adding value. Anybody who sees your profile should always think, today I'll get to learn something new from this person. Some value addition, be it in terms of video or a podcast or a text or an image post or an article. At least twice can you post, and when you do that, the company then chooses you over the other candidate because you've not just left your profile. You're active, you're adding value, you're showing your expertise. Lack of self-awareness. If people are asking you what is your weakness, people easily tell their weakness. Don't do that. In fact, Acharya Chanakya says, if you tell your weakness, it will be used against you. Our parents also teach us the same thing, right? A very diplomatic way to answer it in the interviews. If I have any weakness, I'll overcome it, I'll work on it. But what is my weakness? No revealing your weakness. We think, if we be very, very honest talking about our weakness, we will land up with a job. No. Never do that. Is that clear? I'm sure you have seen a lot of interviews who tell you, talk about your weakness. I say no. Don't tell about your weakness. Emphasize on your strength. That, okay, these are my strengths. And if I have to work on something that is my weakness, I will work on it. They want to see your attitude towards your weakness and not your weakness. And any interview question has psychology connection, my dear friends. Directly, indirectly. So be very mindful of what you answer. Okay? Partnership. See, your company is paying you, but even you are adding value, right? So don't treat don't treat yourself as an employee. You are in partnership with the organization. Clear? And last but not the least, please don't mug up answers. In your interview and even in the process, even in the projects, if you mug up, They know you don't have practical knowledge, and it's very easy to fool that person then. So do you choose to be a go-to person, or do you choose to be a scapegoat? Choice is yours. This we've already covered, learning agility. Okay, so I'm skipping this. My favorite sutra from Arthashastra. And I think, the reason I always quote this is because it doesn't matter if you're an HR professional or any corporate professional. If you are learning, you are way ahead than others, and it's one of the most underrated factors to be relevant. So it says, continuous study ensures a trained intellect. From intellect comes practical application, and practical application results self-possession. This simply means, if I train my intellect, I will be doing things more practically. And the more practically I'll be doing things, I will have self-mastery. That means I will become the master of my subject. So do you choose to be a layman person, or do you choose to be an extraordinary professional? What's your choice? Extraordinary. So every extraordinary person, they are continuously learning. And you guys are so blessed. In fact, ma'am was telling me that you people have such kinds of masterclass every now and then. This is what they are doing with you, right? So they all deserve a huge round of applause for taking such efforts. From last year, I remember from last year, ma'am has been texting me on LinkedIn. By the way, she's my teacher from 2019. Okay, so I was doing my master's degree in Arthashastra, and ma'am had come that you take a session on Shivaji and leadership. And from 2019 till now, we are connected. I think this is a full circle, because that time she was there on the stage and I was sitting there, and today she is there and I am here. So ma'am, thank you so much for this opportunity. When she said this is masterclass, I said, ma'am, topic is yours, date and time is yours, just tell me when do I have to come. Because for me, it's not about, how much you're earning or something. No, for me it's the impact. I've been sitting there when I was in engineering. I know the value of one right direction. And when you're lost in your life and when you just get one right advice, I think it's a blessing in disguise. And I told you I failed 2 years in engineering, right? And that time nobody guided me, nobody. We did not have such kind of sessions. So when you have such sessions, please attend, please learn, please share the knowledge with other people, because leaders can't be misers. And you are HR professionals. You have to take people along with you and then grow the organization, right? So let's go ahead. Now, human psychology. I'm seeing a lot of people are writing notes, okay? It's already on the record, don't worry. Quickly write 2-3 resources which are available on YouTube for free. I'm giving you all free resources, nothing to spend. Only spend your time, that's it. The first resource I told you, 3 important questions by Vishen Lakhiani. Watch that video. Second, there is a video called Mark Gangar, Tale of Two Brains. If somebody tells me, ma'am, I love human psychology, but if you tell me to read this 400-page book, I will sleep. Okay, can you watch a video? Yes. Now, the interesting part. So, the records say that this person was a priest for 50 years of his life. Listen to me, all of you, here, right later. Imagine you are a priest for 50 years of your life, and people come and tell you that you are a very good communicator. You are solving problems for people's life. Why don't you become an expert? So Mark Gangar studied this book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray, and for 2 years he developed himself. And then, today on records, he has saved 65,000 divorce cases in America. Just by understanding how a male thinks, how a female thinks. Let me give you a short example. When you talk to a male, please talk point to point. A, B, C, khatam. You talk to a female, how, what, when, why. She wants to know everything, even though she knows. Yeah, but when you talk to a male, half the time you have this complaint, oh, men don't listen to me. Please talk point to point, they will listen to you. All men, do you agree? Yeah, now it's something of interest of them now. When you talk to a male, point to point baat karo, they'll listen to you. Don't ask them stories, don't ask them 10 questions. and specifically of the answers you already know, and then you will sit and complain, oh, my partner keeps on lying to me. Why did you ask wrong questions? When they tell you the truth, you have doubts. When they lie, you still have doubts. Where do they go? Yeah? Yeah, you can clap. I mean, I'll feel nice. I'm sure that person is in a relationship or probably just had a breakup. Jokes apart. No, so when you talk to this I'm telling you, because this happens even in corporates. They go for business meetings, and when there's 10 males sitting, and then when you ask them certain things, they are bored of listening to your presentation. Please keep it point to point. You're addressing a male. Understand the male psychology. It's a female. Go in detail. Doesn't matter. That's why in lot of sales department you will see females. Because men don't cut female calls, no? They at least, hello, nahi chahiye, chalega, but they'll do call. You have a male calling, hey, chal, keep the phone. Right? You're laughing right now. But this is how even the companies use psychology. And trust me, when I learned these things, I was like, oh my God, I was such a fool when I was a motivational speaker. I was talking in one monotonous tone with everybody. And I was wondering, why are they not closing? Why am I not getting deals? Why am I not able to convince people to take my programs? And then when I learned this, it became a game changer for me. Because now in the boardrooms, I do not have my list of stories. It's point A, B, C, I'm done. When I deal with male clients, point A, B, C, done. When with female, how, what, when, why. And being a female is difficult, huh? Because you're supposed to remind yourself, oh, you're a female, right? Because you get that masculine energy when you are in the boardrooms, like one woman and everybody else is a male. But then that's how you have to, prove yourself. And that's a privilege. So that Mark Gandhar video, you'll die laughing. It's so funny. Imagine just by telling a couple how a partner is thinking they're saving divorce cases. Imagine you're going to grow business by dealing with the right sense of communication of how a male thinks, how a female thinks. And with this, your people management skills will become very easy. You don't need big certifications, my friend. You just need to understand what is the crux of every business. And any business is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. Everywhere this works, everywhere, not just in the boardrooms. And then, people will love talking to you. Why? Because somewhere, psychologically, you both are connected. Write one more concept. It's called 6 human needs. 6 human needs. Because we have a very limited time, I'm not able to teach you all these things, but I don't want to leave you without sharing you these things. Out of any 6 human needs, from today, from the time you learn, you will subconsciously fulfill 2 needs of the person. And then you will tell me, ma'am, convincing for me is now my own mastery. I don't have to take much efforts. People are easily convinced. Isn't that amazing? Are you using some big jargons? No. Are you using some kind of tactics? Absolutely not. But are you using psychology to connect with a person, to convince a person, and your work gets done? Nothing amazing than that. And let me leave you with last C in this psychology. Right. Connect, convey, convince. Never ever convey directly to your clients or to your team members. Always connect with them subconsciously, psychologically. Connect, convey, convince. Very easy. Even in a sales training, I tell people, do not jump to telling what you have to offer. First, connect mentally, emotionally. And that starts with male psychology, female psychology, and then comes 6 human needs. Even if this much you're done, trust me, for the next 2-3 years, you don't need any other psychology training. That's a guarantee to you. And people will be wondering, oh my God, she's so commanding. Wow, it's so nice to work with her. I love her confidence. And somehow, she's actually able to bring in more revenue to the company. She's getting the best talent management done in the place, and people are listening to her. They do not know that you have this secret weapon which is called psychology. Okay? I just told you about this. Human psychology, business psychology, and communication psychology. By any chance, can we get a whiteboard, ma'am? Acha, okay, later maybe, okay. Okay, last resource right over there. It's called neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. As an HR professional, you are expected to understand the types of people you are working with. And I'm not saying type by means of caste. No. The kind of brains you're working with. Yeah. That's okay, in the end I can, no problem. Or here also if I can write, if I'm allowed to. Neuro-linguistic programming. So basically there are three types of people. Have you written neuro-linguistic programming? This comes under business psychology, huh? Under business psychology, neuro-linguistic programming. It's okay if it's not happening, I can explain it verbally also. I have engineering handwriting, you have to give me a pen. Okay, till then let me teach you something very interesting while they are doing this, okay? Now, you want to catch people lying. You want to learn how to read eyes. But can you promise me you will not judge my eyes because I am the teacher today? Is that sure? Okay. So there are two methods, actually 6, but because of short of time, I'm going to teach you 2, okay? And now everybody is attentive, suddenly everybody's body language is like this. All the students are like this and they're just waiting. Disclaimer and on record as well. If after today's session you have a breakup, it's your problem, not mine. If the friendship is affected, again your problem, not mine. Today, your parents are going to wonder, how come this item has time for us today? They don't know you're going to read their eyes. Right? At any point of time. Yes. I'll do that. You know, when a person is lying, and again repeat, I'm teaching, so don't judge my eyes. Wait, I'll teach in the end. Is that okay? Or should I teach it now? Let me finish the session now. Okay. So, when people lie, they always look at the right side. I'll give you an example. You know, when you are entering your classrooms and then you forget your answers, where do you look up to? Now do you realize answers दिखते क्यों नहीं, याद क्यों नहीं आते, बुक दिखता है लेकिन बुक के अंदर का क्यों नहीं दिखता है? Right is wrong. Right is imagination. So if you want to remember your answers, look. And when a person is talking to you and, my dear friends, thoda bhi aankheं right mein gaya. I am teaching you right now, don't judge me. The person is lying. It's not the truth. And you know, when you catch the truth, don't give reaction. Don't be like, oh my God, what just happened? Because I have to tell this, you know, when I teach in the corporates, if they give instant, because the excitement is there, no? Oh, we're going to catch lies. You lied. How do you know? And then they go and, oh, mom, what did you teach them? Nothing. It's psychology. Any person who's telling the truth as per neuro-linguistic programming will always look at the left side. They will not look at the right side because for them right is wrong. So when a person is talking to you, look in their eyes, not in the romantic way. Because small things we have to tell. And in the corporates, you know, when the HR sessions are going on, I tell them, this is what you're supposed to analyze. And then, you know, it hints the wrong signal. Don't do that. You are an HR professional. You're not supposed to show that you're judging or you're observing or you're analyzing. Your body language has to be that concrete. right? Now everybody's suddenly attentive right now, specifically female. The list is ready. With whom you're going to go and experiment this today? Yeah? Everybody's saying this. I told you, see, I'm not a PPT person. But I wanted to have these inputs because, like I said, what did I teach you today? Discuss before you decide. I brought all experts of HR and I told them, give me the best input you can because I want to make this session relevant for them. Not for today, for the next 3 to 5 years, bare minimum. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to teach you this as well. It's a part of your HR. It's a part of your training. Okay? At any point of time. Now, when you talk to any person, what will you do? Right or left? Why? That's the truth. Right? Now there are a lot of over smart people. What they will do? You talk, I'm listening. Ask them some teda-meda questions. I do that. Somewhere the eyes will go here and there and you will catch them lying. And as an HR professional, you should know how to read eyes. You should know how to read body language. You should also know, by the way, a person does handshake. It speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. You can understand if a person is dominating, introvert, extrovert, over smart or whatever it is, just by body language. It plays a major role. That's why from the person that enters and they do business with you, the way they handshake with you, the way they sit in the boardrooms, the way they sit in the interviews, marks volumes. Why I told you learn neuro-linguistic programming? Because when your interview panel, they all are neuro-linguistic experts. They are master practitioners. They can catch you in second. And I don't want you to lose out on your job because you lack awareness or you lack those skills. And that's why I know I've used a lot of slides. But I want you to be relevant. I want you to be result oriented. I want you to be the asset of your organization. That tomorrow they should be afraid of letting you go and not vice versa, my dear friends. You become so valuable, you become such an asset that they should think 10 times that we can't let this person go. Is that clear? Okay, they said I can use that, right? All right. Sorry for my engineering handwriting. You have 3 kinds of people, okay? First, it is visual. Now, when you talk to a visual person, please talk about outcome. Write it down. If I am talking to a visual person, I will not discuss process with them. I will only talk about outcome. I told you when you talk to a male, it is point to point. A, B, C, baat khatam. You talk to a female, how, what, when, why stories. When you talk to a visual person, they are least bothered what is your process. उनको outcome से फर्क होता है. What is the outcome? Tell me the outcome. And for a visual person, you will tell what? Outcome and bigger picture. You will tell stories. You will make them imagine ये visual है. इनको dialogue से मतलब नहीं है. They don't want any demo. Because you fail to understand this, you will have the same approach to all your candidates or your team members. Now, example, if I tell you there's a very big project coming up, please allocate right team members for this. What you will do? You will see who's best for you and the company and the project, and sometimes a biased behavior as well. But please choose this. Because if 3 different kinds of minds work together, it's creative, but it also creates conflict. Understand their minds first. So when you work with a visual person, talk outcome, tell stories, make them imagine, show them. उनको दिखाओ, उनको सुनाओ मत, उनको बताओ मत, उनको करवाओ मत. And as simple as that. When you talk to an auditory person, oh my God, big long calls. They love sending voice notes. They love listening to music. They want to know the entire gossip. They want to know the discussions. They'll have future opinions. इनको देखने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You tell them outcome, they'll be like, okay, I understood, but tell me how you will do it. They will ask you 10 more questions because they are bang on opposite of visual. If they are asking you for discussion, understand they are auditory. Give them time, discuss with them. Don't cut short the conversation. Then, when the reviews are happening, you will have a complaint. पहले क्यों नहीं बताया? Why did you discuss before? You failed to understand them as people management resource. I told you before you manage people, manage their minds. And unfortunately, in the syllabus, all this is not taught. Unfortunately, the top management knows all this. And I always insist, even in the leadership sessions, every hierarchy should at least know basic human psychology. Basics of dealing with people. This will reduce conflicts. It does not happen with those conflict management sessions. Understand the mind first. You will always, try to resolve the conflict in the very mature manner. Right? Now, kinesthetic, the most dangerous species. Till you don't give them demonstration, they will not understand. Highly sensitive, moody. You have to make them do, you have to make them right. You have to make them do some activity. They cannot sit at one place. Lot of HRs complain to me, ma'am, I don't know if this person gets up 10 times. One for water, one for coffee, one for this, one for that. Arey kinesthetic hai baba. It's easy to complain. It's difficult to have the self-awareness, to understand the behavior of that person. And that's why I told you, if you know human psychology, communication psychology and business psychology, you will be unstoppable because you're understanding minds. And because you understand minds, you're being able to manage well. And you'll be outstanding in that. Understood? If it is visual, what will you do? Outcome. Auditory? Discuss. Kinesthetic? Demonstrate. Perfect. Difficult? Do you need long theory answers for this? You need strong observation skills. I know now everybody's looking at me. I told you don't judge me. I told you I'm the teacher today and I'm going to teach you how to do things. Right? All are ready with how you're going to test each other? See? HR insights छोड़ दो. मानसी मैम ने सिखाया आंखें कैसे पढ़ना. हम जाके आज सबका टेस्ट लेंगे, सबका वाइवा होगा. हाँ, कॉन्फिडेंटली हाँ भी बोल रहे हैं. Interesting, no? Have you learned all this before? Let's go ahead. Real leaders are polymath. If you Google the word polymath, polymath means a person having knowledge of more than one subject. And that was the agenda for today's session. I don't want you to just be a normal HR professional. I want you to be an extraordinary HR professional ahead, not just an intern as well. And when you are equipped with such strong knowledge, you are irreplaceable. You become an asset for the organization and you will have better recruitment as well. You can choose performance management, talent or hiring. That's your choice. But you'll be the best at it. And this world salutes winners. This world salutes successful people more than failures and losers. The only difference is that successful people have better experts with them, extra knowledge with them, and they are extraordinary. And that is the reason they still are more sustaining and still relevant. How do I, sorry, yeah. Visual auditory kinesthetic clear? This got stuck. Sorry for the trouble. Yeah. So this is the meaning of polymath. That when you have knowledge of multiple subjects, you become a real leader. So don't just stick to one subject. Yeah. Aage. Yeah. Okay, so now since you know what you have been trained on, when you are an HR professional and when you have to train your team members in the organization, what you will do, you will study the market. You will not just depend on the research team. I have seen a lot of HR professionals doing that. हमारे पास time नहीं होता. Then you will deliver wrong training. You will not identify the right gap in the organization. And please have two levels of training in any organization that you are working. Number one, which is there for all the hierarchy, and then second is domain specific. Don't just focus on domain specific. What did I teach you today? Treat everyone as trainable asset in the organization. Don't judge by their current titles. Everybody has potential. When you train them, when you sharpen them, they become valuable to you. But if you become biased, if you are not training them, if you are not putting efforts in them, you are going to lose out on the right talent. And I've seen, unfortunately, lot of corporates, lot of organizations lose out the best talent because they are being miser and not training the right resource. And they always complain that, we are not finding the right people. There is no right or wrong people. You can make them the right people, right? By training them. You have offsites in the company. You're giving them Diwali gifts. Give them some right knowledge. They'll bless you for life. And sometimes even for Diwali parties, they take money from the employees. Yeah. Company Diwali party and you're taking money from the employees. Wow. And even for that secret Santa. What secret Santa? Everybody is secret, everybody knows. Teach them something of value, my dear friends. That's the priceless gift. Knowledge is the priceless gift. They'll bless you for life. Even if they are not your colleagues, they will still have respect for you. Why? Because you taught them something which nobody else did. So my dear friends, do that. ROI, again, this is a question mark. When I got this slide, I was laughing. I'll tell you why. Because companies measure ROI by the attendance and not by the action. Oh, कितने लोग बैठे ट्रेनिंग में? अच्छा 80%? हाँ ठीक है, वसूल अपना पैसा. क्या सीखा? ओ बहुत अच्छा सेशन था. क्या सीखा? बहुत अच्छा था. Is this the ROI? Then how do you perform? How do you measure? And as an HR, this is the first criteria, not the budget of the training. ROI देखो पहले. You're making companies spend. You're having experts coming in. You're making them sit in the working hours. But if ROI is a question mark, please don't conduct trainings. And the problem is you have market gap. You have lack of awareness. You are not aware which training is to be given to what. Okay? LinkedIn, I already told you. This already I told you. I'm an avid reader. So till I don't give you resources, I will not end my session. Anybody who wants to be a first-time leader has to read these books. I'm not a person who reads common books. If you want to be uncommon, you have to read uncommon books. You cannot do what everybody else is doing. You just can't. You're going to get all the slides. Don't worry. The best part, I think, one of my best leadership lessons I've learned from the last book, $1 Billion Secret. We say don't judge a book by its cover. It's not going to give you some $1 billion advice. It's going to teach you something that all self-made leaders did and how you can apply in your life and not repeat those mistakes. Learn from others. And the first 90 days by Michael Watkins. When I became a leader for the first time, this was the first resource I got in my hand. How do you plan your leadership? As an HR, you have to create more leaders, right? But if you don't have a right map, how will you create leaders? Is that okay? Clear? Start with these books. With the resources I gave you, you need nothing else. Nothing else. You're ready for the practical world. Nothing theory is applied over there. Everything is practical. And I said, if you want to be relevant, everything that we've learned today is enough for you, as long as you're applying in the right manner. All right? Question answers is remaining. I want to have more question answers. Start asking questions. Yes. Piyush. Why do you want to lie? Don't. You know, it's easy to lie, and when you will lie, even your 9 truths will be questioned later on. So do you want to be always, judged or in a micromanaged way that इसको भरोसा नहीं कर सकते यार, ये तो फेंको रहा है, झूठा है, so something. Yeah. Hmm. Don't talk harsh, it's a way of talking. That's why I told you learn psychology, because if you don't know to communicate, you might, give false hopes, or you might hurt ending somebody. So don't do that. That's why you need psychology. I'll answer all your questions, don't worry. I would not prefer lying, and I would not prefer giving anybody false hopes. Words can hurt or harm somebody. So today you might probably give false hopes, but tomorrow you will be the reason for the trauma of the person. So I would not recommend you to put in that position of yours. And I always believe one lie questions all your truths, even if it's a minor lie. But don't play with your credibility. People are there to throw mud at your character. You don't give them that chance. So, yeah, last. She was asking if she can lie. I said, no, you can't. As simple as that. Understood how do you talk to a male point to point? And how I spoke to her? Simple as that. Ask questions. Yeah.
And then we think of plan B. That A they show us share. So it feels so. At that time, it feels so unexpected and depressing, demotivated. So how can we deal with this situation?
Sometimes. Sorry for this. Life is uncertain. It's always going to be uncertain. In this situation, if I would be in your place, and what I still do, I first go to my granny and I have my spiritual mentor. I discuss with them, because when you are upset, you can't decide, and then you have your business mentor. So like I told you, discuss before you decide. In the session also I taught you, right? I follow the same, because when you're upset, when you're not in the right frame of mind, you're not able to decide. And when I always say, when you're hungry, angry, or you're very happy, don't decide. Even if you're sad, don't decide. Your decisions will change when you become mentally stable. So have somebody which we call Vriddha Sanyog in Arthashastra, means experts. So like you talk to your elders, you talk to your spiritual mentors, you talk to your business mentors. Tell them, seek their guidance and be transparent. Sometimes we hide things from our mentors. Don't do that. Because if you give them half information, you'll get half guidance. So be honest with them and see how it goes, because they are more experienced than you. Today, in spite of having so many years of experience, I still take advice. Because sometimes we tend to overlook things, and that is, a blind spot as well. So, yeah, life is always going to be uncertain, always. I'll give you a small example. I was coming here from 2nd of October, asked ma'am, I was not well. And doctor said, you have malaria, you have this, that. I said, nothing doing, I'm all fine, it's all here. And 2 days ago, how my voice was, ma'am, you know how it was. And I told her, ma'am, don't worry, I'll take the session. Because when I'm on stage, I forget my issues. Now when I'll go there, I'll start coughing. See, session whatever I started coughing, no? So it's all here. Yes. So nice to see all happy faces here. I mean, see, as a speaker, nothing is satisfying to see smiling faces. And I know the smile is not for the session, but for what I taught you exclusively. But you all deserve that. And like I said, I'm always more, enthusiastic to teach more women leaders out there. And you guys are very lucky. You're getting all this over here, sitting right here. So one last time, a huge round of applause for your entire staff for organizing this. I feel very blessed that, my granny again could witness this session. I just told her once I have a session in the morning, we have to leave at 5:30. No problem, I'll be ready. You tell me, I'm going to hear. And she might not understand much of English, but, she's, the pride on her face, I think, is my biggest blessing. And trust me, my dear friends, if you have grandparents at your home, learn from them. Your business lessons and life lessons you will be learning from them. And like I said, I've landed my board positions because of her. So, don't take your parents and grandparents for granted. The world is there to pull you down, but if your family is with you, nobody can stop you. That's it. Thank you so much. Lots of love. All the best. I'm looking forward to hear your stories. And you be a game changer in your organization and you become a role model in your corporates. All the best. God bless you and keep learning.
Thank you, ma'am. To express our sincere appreciation to Miss Mansi Thakkar for her invaluable insights and presence today, I now invite Dr. Vishwanathan Iyer sir to kindly come forward and present a token of gratitude.
To conclude this enriching morning, I now request Senior Student Manager Ms. Arya Murdhare to deliver the vote of thanks. Good morning to one and all present here. Today's masterclass by Ms. Mansi Thakkar was truly insightful and deeply enriching. The practical HR insights and your tips will serve as a roadmap for our future placements. Some key takeaways from Arthashastra Stotra. Continuous studying ensures a trained intellect. From intellect comes practical application. On behalf of Sri Balaji University, I, Senior Student Manager Arya Mundre, specializing in PMNHR at BMHRD, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Mansi Thakkar for delivering enriching session and investing your valuable time with us. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you everyone for making this masterclass a successful event. This was indeed a fantastic session. Thank you so much. Uh, yes, I request everyone to please scan this QR code and fill the information. Please don't leave without filling the information. Thank you so much.